Hello people, I'm the Comic Book Gamer, and today I'm going to be talking about Lazarus Contract, which is the big storyline that's going on in the Titans book, Teen Titans book, and Deathstroke book right now. It's going across all of those. It's the big storyline. It's sort of a sequel to the Judas Contract a bit, and yeah, so I was excited for this because Deathstroke has been very lackluster since the beginning of the New 52 all the way through Rebirth right now. Like, I stopped reading the book because I just didn't care for the Rebirth book either. It's just, man, it's been rough for me as a Deathstroke fan lately. I know some people love the Rebirth book, but to me, I'm just getting so bored of the same thing over and over again. It's like Deathstroke's family and his family. It's like every single writer for some reason has to do something with his family because they lack originality and they can't do anything else, and it just gets boring. I have no problem because they are a big part of his story, but I have no problem using them every once in a while. But to use them with every single storyline is just so annoying, and it pisses me off. And yeah, but we got another storyline, Lazarus Contract, and it's about his family. But yeah, we're only 2 parts in. This is going to be a 4-part storyline. It's the first one, it starts off in Teen Titans issue number 11, and then the second one is in the first one's in Titans number 11, the second one's in Teen Titans issue number 8, and then the next part's going to be the newest issue of Deathstroke, which I think is like number 18 or 19, so I don't remember the exact issue. And then we got Teen Titans Annual number 1 that will be the final part to the story. So I'm excited because so far it's been okay. So yeah, spoilers for this. We're only 2 parts in, but I will be spoiling stuff, so there's your warning. Yeah, let's get into it. So the best part of this story so far is the fact that we get to see Brett Booth drawing Deathstroke, and he makes this crappy Rebirth suit look badass, because like most of the artists I've seen on the main Deathstroke book with Christopher Priest, I've not been a fan of the suit. I think it looks stupid with the white arm, and it looks very generic, and because it's just, like, every time you see a new version of Deathstroke, it's always just some variation of orange and black, and it's like, why? Why can't we have blue in there? Like, why is it always just some orange and black, and it looks so generic and stupid? But in this, Brett Booth just makes him look so badass. But Brett Booth has always been one of my favorite artists. He's probably him or Ethan Van Sciver's probably my favorite Flash artist, because they just draw Flash so well. Like, I love the way they draw the Flash. But anyways, he draws Deathstroke so awesome. That's my favorite part of this story so far, is the fact that we get Brett Booth drawing Deathstroke, and it just looks so amazing. So anyways, the first storyline is the first issue of the storyline is we see the Titans fighting these guys, and they look like Hive, but they're not actually Hive, and then Wally West gets kidnapped. My only problem with that is I wish we got to see how Wally West got kidnapped, because we see that Deathstroke kidnapped him, but we don't get to see how. Like, Wally West is the fastest man alive, and he's not an idiot, so Deathstroke is no idiot either, so I do believe Deathstroke could, like, kidnap him, especially in that scenario, but I just wish we could have seen how, instead of just, oh, he did it because he's Deathstroke. It's like, I would have liked to just seen something. I think they could have come up with something cool to show Deathstroke kidnap Wally West, instead it's just, nope, he got kidnapped. Maybe later we'll get it explained. I doubt it. I don't think they're going to, but I wish we would have gotten that explained. But anyways, we see that in Deathstroke's lair, he's got Wally West all trapped up, and he's explaining to him how he wants Wally to go back in time to save Grant. Grant is Deathstroke's first son. He was his oldest child, and he died fighting the Teen Titans because he took some serum that was similar to Deathstroke's, except more powerful, but at the same time it like drained your body of your energy, and like you just absolutely, like, it would kill you if you like stressed yourself too much, and fighting the Teen Titans kind of stressed him too much, and he died. So that's why Deathstroke wants to go back in time and save him. He wants to go back and save Grant, and because of all the mistakes he's made with his family, so he goes and he talks to Wally West about it, and then Wally escapes, and Wally's like, no, I'm gonna stop you. And then Deathstroke's like, okay, but how about we make a deal? You go back and save Grant, and I'm never Deathstroke. Like, everything changes. Everything goes back to where just I'm not Deathstroke anymore. So you could save like thousands of lives by just saving one. That's all you gotta do. And Wally's like, no. I thought that part of the book was interesting too, like how Deathstroke like gave him that proposition, like, you know, you could say, like, if you go back and save my son, then I never become Deathstroke, and you're saving thousands of people that I will kill. So there you go. I thought that was an interesting part of it, but Wally says no, he can't do that. It's not good to mess with time, like we've learned with like Flashpoint and things like that. And so then Deathstroke's just like, okay, fine, I got another Wally West, and we see that he's got the other Wally West, the New 52 Wally West. He's got him all trapped. Now on to the second part of the story, where we see how Slade was able to capture the New 52 Wally West, and then we see the Teen Titans, how they're all all trying to figure out like how Wally, like where Wally went and everything, what's going on with that. And kind of say, like, I haven't read anything about New 52 Wally West, but I really don't like him already because he's just complaining about everyone lying to him, and I hate it when they do that. It's like when Tommy complained about Oliver lying to him in Arrow. He's like, how could you lie to me about your secret, and crap like that. I just seen it so much I get tired of it. And Wally's just like, again, New 52 Wally West is like, Barry lied to me about who my father was, and he lied to me that there's another Wally West, and it's like blah blah blah. And he's just like, you can't see that like what Barry's doing is trying to protect you and stuff. He didn't want you to know that your father was evil Reverse Flash, and there was no reason to really explain to you about a second Wally West. And it's just it pisses me off because this kid's just complaining about everything, and he seems so emo. And maybe he's great in other books, but in this book so far I don't like him because he's just kind of complaining about everything. He's like, Barry lies to me all the time. It's like, no one cares. But he's not the worst character in this book. That award goes to Damien. I absolutely hate Damien so much. It's not really the writer's fault. They write him the way Damien's supposed to be written, which is just as a brat that no one likes, because I just hate Damien. I hate him so much. I don't like him. Grant Morrison was like the only one that was really able to make me like enjoy him in a book. Besides that, I kind of just hate him so much. I don't like Damien. It's hard for me to tolerate Damian Wayne. So throughout this storyline, we see that Dick Grayson is holding something back. We don't know what. It's just one of those fake Hive guys earlier said something about Lazarus, and that sort of triggered something in Dick to where he's been acting different. He's been lying about stuff, saying that he doesn't know what it means. But then later we get a transmission in Titan's Tower that's like a broken up transmission of like an old video saying like, a Lazarus contract can be brought back to life if either of us fails to keep our word. I assure you, Robin, I'm a man who keeps mine. And so that's Deathstroke talking to Robin. We don't know really what about. All we know is, it's Lazarus, and Lazarus was the guy in the Bible that Jesus brought back to life. So something about if someone dies, someone could be brought back to life. We don't know really what's going on, but we see that Damien was the one who sent that transmission. He's like, meet us on the roof of Titan's Tower. So they go to meet him on the roof, and then one of my favorite parts of the book happens. I absolutely love Donna Troy. I loved her before, but I love her even more for this. She just grabs Damien by his cape, like the little brat he is, and she's like, explain what all this means. Show some respect. Like, he was Robin long before you, because he starts calling out Dick Grayson. Donna Troy's like, he was Robin long before you. I was like, yes, let's go. I wish you would have just thrown him off the roof. That was like probably my favorite part of either of these books so far, was this. I just loved it. It was great. Then Nightwing tells all of them that he did make a deal with Deathstroke, and that something could be wrong, but time is of the essence. So they go and they find Deathstroke's secret lair. When they get there, well, prior to this, we see that Deathstroke lets out New 52 Wally West. New 52 Wally West is like, oh, Deathstroke's not such a bad guy, because Deathstroke's like, yeah, I know I locked you up and tricked you and chained you and all that, but I just want my son back, that's all. And so he lets out Wally West. He touches him to where he absorbs some of his speed force energy or whatever it seems. It's kind of like, they don't really explain it much. It's just, my icon suit can travel in your speed wake, and he touches him and takes that. And so then we see the Titans get to the cave where Deathstroke's hiding out, and then Deathstroke suddenly is like the Flash. He's got speed force. He's got a sword made of speed force energy or something. His design's okay. I'm excited to see Brett Booth draw it, because this artist is not bad, but not the greatest. He did a good job. I liked his art. He did good, but he's not Brett Booth level. So I'm excited to see how Brett Booth how he draws this suit, and then I'll have my conclusion on that, because right now it's pretty generic. It's just black with lightning bolts, and it's okay, that's not that great. And then the Deathstroke mask, but we'll see how it is when Brett Booth does it, because he can take the lamest costumes like the icon suit and make them look badass. So anyways, now that we're all caught up on what happened in the story so far, my thoughts on all this are, this kind of for sure shows me that pre-New 52 Deathstroke is dead and gone. He is forever gone, and we're never getting him back unless Deathstroke brings Marv Wolfman back. That's it. My Deathstroke that I love is dead, because this would be really interesting for an Earth 1 Teen Titans book. But as far as a canon book, it doesn't match the Deathstroke that I love and that I know from the 90s at all. This is something very irrational and stupid to do, something that Deathstroke would know, messing with the time stream like this to bring Grant back. This is not something that Slade Wilson would do, the Slade Wilson that I know of. This is something that Christopher Priest's Slade Wilson would do. This is not something that the original Marv Wolfman Slade Wilson would do, because he knows the effects of this. He knows this is stupid. That Deathstroke was a smart guy. Instead, this guy's so irrational. He's like, I need my son back. Maybe this will make me a better person, and maybe Deathstroke... No, the original Slade Wilson knows even if his son didn't die, he would still continue being Deathstroke. Like, he would still be Deathstroke, because he was Deathstroke prior to that, and like that was a big thing, because he's like an adrenaline junkie, and he loved being Deathstroke, and that was a big part of like what drove his like marriage apart and things like that. And this Deathstroke's just like, no, I need my Grant. Well, I need Grant back, and it's just, this is not like the Deathstroke I know, and I think it's kind of stupid, but it is an interesting concept. Like, the story's an interesting concept. It doesn't line up with the Deathstroke that I really like. So that's why I think it would have been better as an Elseworld story, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here. The art by Brett Booth, again, is amazing. The writing so far has been pretty good. I like the story so far. I'm interested in it. It's just the characterization of Deathstroke is still just, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it at all. Like, this Christopher Priest Deathstroke, yes, I buy him doing this because that Deathstroke's looking at. But again, it's another story around his family as well. Like, when was the last time we got a story about Deathstroke that wasn't revolved around his family? That not, besides like the one issue story we got, which was like Deathstroke Annual number 1 or 2 or something like that, I don't remember. But we got one like at the end of New 52 that was like really good. It was an annual, and it was a really good story. But that was just one issue. Like, when was the last time we got like a good solid like 5-issue arc that wasn't about his family? Like, we haven't gotten that in forever, and I'm hoping we maybe get that eventually soon, but probably not, because Christopher Priest is obsessed with his family, just like every other Deathstroke writer. And then the guys, there's like a ton of people writing this story, and they're all writing about his family. So it's like, yep. And the characterization of Deathstroke's just not my favorite. It really sucks that Deathstroke's gone. This Deathstroke's very irrational and just not thinking straight. That's just, yeah. Like, even in the original book, like in this, he's like, I'm gonna get revenge on the Teen Titans and blah blah blah. He said it in the original book, but it was more of like, I saw it more of as a like in the moment thing when he's like, you did this, Titans, you killed my son. That was because like he literally died fighting them, but he told them but Slade had warned Grant before fighting the Titans that if he fought them, he would probably die, because if he expels too much energy, like with the way the serum works, he would die. Like, Slade told him that. So Slade knew Grant died because of his own stupid choices, because Slade told him that. In the original book, he warned him in New Teen Titans issue number 2. But in this, it's like, it's 100% the Titans' fault, and Grant did nothing wrong, and now I need to bring Grant back, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just, I don't buy it. I think it's stupid. I think it's really interesting concept to have Slade get the Speed Force. I'm excited to see what happens next, but again, I like everything about this book except for the characterization of Deathstroke. But anyways, that's my thoughts so far. I'll probably, if you guys want me to, I'll cover the rest of the story. I'm going to be covering the rest of the Button event as well, and probably the rest of this if you guys want me to. I'm definitely going to be reading the next 2 issues. I'm excited. Hope it goes well. Anyways, please let me know in the comments below if you guys have been reading the Lazarus Contract, what you think of it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.